Hello student, this is the Sangeeta Mansukhani, video number 103. In this video I will be explain NCERT textbook exercise question. So let us start. Question number this. Express the change in internal energy of a system. When a system, first, no heat is absorbed by the system from the surrounding but work is done on the system. So what type of the wall does the system have? Again I say no heat is absorbed by the system from the surrounding but work is done on the system. So concept is if heat is absorbed is 0, that is no heat absorbed, so EQ is equal to 0. So process is adiabatic. So first law reduced to delta U is equal to W adiabatic. Okay, so adiabatic, that is when work is done on the system, so delta U is equal to W adiabatic. So in such a system, adiabatic or insulated wall is used. Then second number, no work is done on the system, that is W is equal to 0. But Q amount of the heat is taken out from the system and given to the surrounding, that is going to the system to the surrounding. So what type of the wall does the system have? So work done is 0. So first law reduced to the delta U is equal to minus Q, because energy, okay, heat, amount of the heat taken out from the system to the surrounding. So the wall must be thermally conducting. Then third, W amount of the work is done by the system and Q amount of the heat is supplied to the system. So what type of the system would it be? W amount of the work is done by the system and Q amount of the heat is supplied to the system. So what type of the system would it be? Okay, so work is done by the system, that is when W not equal 0, and heat also supplied to the system, so Q not equal 0. So according to the first law of the thermodynamics, delta U is equal to Q minus W, because the work done by the system. So it is the closed system. Okay, that is clear. Next question is 2 liters of an ideal gas at a pressure of 10 atmosphere pressure expand isothermally into a vacuum until its total volume is 10 liter. So how much heat is absorbed and how much work is done in the expansion? 2 liter of an ideal gas at a pressure of the 10 atmospheric pressure. So according here you see heat is absorbed how much amount and how much amount of work. Okay, so how much heat and how much work. So both are we have to find out. So according to the first law, isothermal process, okay, delta U is equal to 0. So thermodynamics according U, delta U is equal to Q plus W. So delta U is equal to 0 is equal to Q plus W. So Q is equal to minus W. So PEX, and here given Q heat 10 and then minus work is done 10. So 10 minus 2, 10 atmospheric pressure, and here expand isothermally into a vacuum until its total volume is 10 liter. Okay, so 10 minus 2 is equal to 0.8, so is equal to 0. So no work is done, so no heat is absorbed. Okay, clear? Next question is, consider the same expansion to a final volume of the 10 liter conducted reversibly. Consider the same extension to the first volume 10 liter conducted reversibly. In such condition, how much heat is absorbed? Okay, so how much heat? So formula is equal to Q is equal to minus W. Okay, so convert according to the log value 2.303 into 10 log 10 upon 2. Because here same condition apply upper way. Okay, so 10 by 2. So 10 by 2 5. Okay, so 10 log 5. So 10 into multiply, then 2.303, 16.1 liter atmospheric. Next question is, in a process 701 joule of the heat is absorbed by a system and 394 joule of the work is done by the system. So what is the change in internal energy for the process? 701 joule of the heat is absorbed by a system and 394 joule of the work is done by the system. So what is the change in internal energy for the process? So here heat Q is equal to given plus 701 joule. So heat is absorbed. So that is means Q is positive, and work W is equal to done by the system. So that is means negative. W is negative. By the system, so negative. If on the system, so positive. So here W is equal to minus 394 joule. So according to the first law of the thermodynamics, delta U is equal to Q plus W. Q plus W minus 394 joule. So answer is 307 joule. So internal energy of the system increased by the 307 joule. Got it? Next question is the reaction of the cyanamide NH2CN with dioxygen was carried out in a bomb calorimeter, and delta U was found to be minus 742.7 kilojoule per mole at 298 Kelvin. So calculate the enthalpy change for the reaction at 298 Kelvin, and gas constant value also given. Okay, and reaction also given. Ammonium cyanide NH2CN and react with the oxygen, so convert into the nitrogen, carbon dioxide and water. So first we have to write balance the equation. NH2CN plus 3 by 2 O2 convert into the N2CO2 plus H2O. Then we have to here calculate the enthalpy change. Enthalpy, that is means delta H we have to found, and for the enthalpy formula delta H is equal to delta U plus delta NgRT. Gas constant value given, temperature T also given 298 Kelvin. Clear? Okay. Then delta U also given minus 742.7. Okay, so remaining is find out delta Ng and calculate delta Ng is equal to Np minus Nr, product mole and then reactant. Okay, so product is here you see nitrogen, okay, and plus CO2 plus H2. So in reactant oxygen 3 by 2, okay, and then in product way Np is equal to, here you see carbon dioxide 2 oxygen, okay, and 1 water molecule. Okay, so product way 1 oxygen because here carbon dioxide. So here a single oxygen way. So 2 minus 3 by 2 is equal to half, 0.5 mole. Difference of the mole of the gaseous product and the reactant. Okay, so product is here 2 and then 3. Clear? So 2 minus 2 and 3. Then 2 minus 3 by 2 is equal to half is equal to 0.5 mole. So we have to put the value here. Delta Ng is equal to 0.5. Delta U given. R gas constant. T given. So calculate, then value is come 7 minus 741.46 kilojoule per mole. 1 kilojoule per mole. So during calculation always remember the units of the different quantities. Okay, but delta H, delta U or R must be the same. But in laboratory most of the reaction are carried out at a constant pressure. Okay, so that is means delta H is more significant delta U. Next question is, if water vapor is assumed to be a perfect gas and molar enthalpy change for vaporization of 1 mole of the water at 1 bar and 100 degrees Celsius is 41 kilojoule per mole. So calculate the internal change when 1 mole of the water is vaporized at 1 bar pressure at 100 degrees Celsius. So water vapor is assumed to be the perfect gas, that is means water H2O liquid and convert into the water vapor H2O gas. So enthalpy, okay, so delta H is equal to delta U plus delta NgRT. So first is delta 1 mole of the water, okay, so that is with delta Ng, R gas constant value and T temperature. Okay, so formula is delta U is equal to delta H minus delta NgRT. Enthalpy given 41 kilojoule per mole, okay, minus delta Ng, okay, so Ng and R gas constant value, okay, delta Ng 1 mole of the water, so 1 multiply gas constant 8.3 and temperature 300 degrees Celsius, so convert into the Kelvin 373 Kelvin. Okay, so calculates 41 minus 3.096 is equal to 37.904 kilojoule per mole. Second same is first is vaporized, but second is water is converted into ice. So liquid convert into the solid. So there is a negligible change in the volume. Okay, so we can put P delta V is equal to delta Ng RT. So 0 in this case approximately, because enthalpy is equal to the entropy. Delta H is equal to delta U. Okay, internal energy. So delta U is equal to 41 kilojoule per mole, because negligible change in the volume. Clear? Next question is, 1 gram of the graphite is burnt in a bomb calorimeter. 1 gram of the graphite is burnt in a bomb calorimeter in excess of the oxygen at 298 Kelvin. At 1 atmospheric pressure, according to the equation, graphite convert into the carbon dioxide by the oxygen. So by the oxidation, and during the reaction, temperature rises 298 to 298 Kelvin, 299 Kelvin. So if heat capacity of the bomb calorimeter is 20.7 kilojoule per Kelvin, and so what is the enthalpy change above the reaction 298 Kelvin and 1 atmosphere? So here you see bomb calorimeter, always volume remains constant, right? But heat is involved in the internal energy, because formula is according to the bomb calorimeter, delta U is equal to QV is equal to CV delta T. So heat lost by the system. So QV is equal to minus CV delta T, because heat is lost, and CV is equal to given 20 bomb calorimeter capacity, given C capacity 20.7. Okay, multiply delta T, temperature difference 299 minus 298. So 1. Okay, multiply by 20.7, so minus 20.7 kilojoule. So only for negative sign indicates exothermic nature of the reaction. Okay, but here delta U given for the combustion of the reaction, because here what is the enthalpy change? Okay, so delta U for the combustion of the 1 gram of the graphite, same, minus 20.7 kilojoule per Kelvin. But enthalpy change for the above reaction at 298 Kelvin and 1 atmosphere, and 1 gram of the graphite. So for the 1 gram of the graphite, minus 20.7. So 1 mole of the graphite, 1 mole, that is means 12 gram of the graphite, carbon, graphite is carbon, allotropes. So 12 multiplied minus 20.7 divide 1 gram. So 2 minus 2.48 into 10 to power 2 kilojoule per mole, and number of the moles is equal to 0, and delta H is equal to delta U. So same enthalpy change, minus 2.48 into 10 to power 2 kilojoule per mole. So first here you see bomb calorimeter, what is the capacitor? According to the capacity, we have to find heat. Okay, and then delta U, and then equal to the delta H. Next question is, calculate the number of the kilojoule of the heat necessary to raise the temperature of the 60 gram of the aluminium from 35 degrees Celsius to 55 degrees Celsius. Calculate the number of the kilojoule of the heat necessary to raise the temperature of the 60 gram of the aluminium from 35 degrees Celsius to 55 degrees Celsius. And molar heat capacity of the aluminium is 24 joule per mole per Kelvin. And molar mass of the aluminium 27 gram per mole. So you already known about number of the kilojoule of the heat. Formula is Q is equal to N into C into delta C. Heat capacity C and number of the moles, and delta T, temperature difference. Okay, so mass of the aluminium given 60, and molar mass of the aluminium 27 gram, and so molar heat capacity C is equal to given 24 joule per mole, okay, per Kelvin, and delta T, temperature 35 to 55. So 55 minus 35, 20 degrees Celsius, that is means 20 Kelvin. Okay, so formula of the heat, Q is equal to N into C into delta T, and given mass divided by molar mass 60 upon 27 multiply capacity 24 multiply difference temperature 20 Kelvin. So value came 1066.66 joule and divide by 1000, so convert into the kilojoule. Okay, 1.067 kilojoule. Next question is, enthalpy of the combustion of the carbon to CO2 is minus 393.5 kilojoule per mole. Calculate the heat release upon formation of the 35.2 gram of the CO2 from carbon and dioxygen gas and molar mass given of CO2 44 gram per mole. So simple reaction is combustion of the carbon react with the oxygen, so convert into the CO2 gas. Enthalpy given minus 393.5 kilojoule per mole. And heat released in the formation of the 44 gram of the CO2 393.5. So formation of the 35.2 gram of the CO2. So 393.5 multiply 35.2 divide 44. So is equal to 314.8 kilojoule. This is the heat released in the formation of the 35.2 gram of the CO2. Next question is, a swimmer coming out from a pool is covered with a film of water weighing about 18 gram. A swimmer coming out from a pool is covered with a film of water weighing about 18 gram. How much heat must be supplied to evaporate this water at 298 Kelvin? And calculate the internal energy of the vaporization at 100 degrees Celsius. So vaporization of the water at 373 Kelvin is equal to 40.66 kilojoule per mole. This is the given in the question. So evaporation represented liquid convert into the gas. So 18 gram water convert into the 18 gram gas. It is a vaporization process. So number of the moles, given mass divided by the molar mass. So given mass 18 gram, weigh 18 and divide by the molar mass of the water 18. So 1 mole. Okay, and vaporization amount of the heat required to vaporize 1 mole of the substance. How much required heat? 40.66 kilojoule per mole. Okay, for evaporation of the 18 gram of the water. So simple, further we have to know delta vaporization U is equal to delta H minus P delta V. Okay, and P delta V we have to write this way, delta Ng RT, assuming behaving as an ideal gas. Okay, so 40.66 kilojoule per mole, this is the heat, delta vaporization heat, minus number of the moles 1, R gas constant 8.314, T temperature 373 Kelvin. Okay, so calculate. So answer is 37.56 kilojoule per mole. Next question is, given this is the reaction, nitrogen react with the hydrogen convert into the ammonia gas and enthalpy is minus 92.4 kilojoule per mole. So what is the standard enthalpy of the formation of the ammonia gas? Okay, so firstly standard enthalpy of the formation means heat released in the formation of the 1 mole of the substance, right? What is the standard enthalpy? Heat released in the formation of the 1 mole of the substance. So this is the reaction and minus 92.4 kilojoule per mole. This is the enthalpy given in the question. So chemical reaction for this N2, here 2, so half N2 plus here 3H2, so 3 by 2H2 and then here 2NH3, so is equal to NH3. Divide 2 by 2, divide 1 NH3. Okay, so and delta H here enthalpy in the question minus 92.4. Okay, so divide by 2, so is equal to minus 46.2 kilojoule per mole. This is the standard enthalpy, okay, of formation. Next question is, Enthalpies of the formation of the carbon monoxide gas, carbon dioxide gas, N2O gas and N2O4 gas are this one value given, enthalpies. Okay, so find the value of the delta H. So reaction also given, N2O4 react with the carbon monoxide, so convert into the N2O plus CO2 gas. So a heat of the reaction, product minus sum of the product enthalpy and minus sum of the reactant enthalpy. So product is N2O plus CO2. Okay, and then reactant is N2O4 plus CO. Okay, so here N2O enthalpy is 81 and here 1, so 1 into 81 plus 3 enthalpy of the CO2. So CO2 enthalpy minus 319 the 3 minus N2O4 enthalpy is 9.7. So 9.7 plus 3 into and N2O minus CO minus 110. So calculate, so value come minus 777.7 kilojoule. Okay, clear? So approximate minus 778 kilojoule. Got it? Next question is, for oxidation of the iron, 4Fe plus 3O2 convert into the Fe2O3, entropy change is minus 549.4 joule Kelvin inverse mole inverse at 298 Kelvin. In spite of the negative entropy change of this reaction, why is the reaction spontaneous? And delta H for this reaction is minus 1648 into 10 to the power 3 joule per mole. So here spontaneity. Spontaneous reaction, what is the meaning of the spontaneous? That is means natural process. Okay, so the spontaneous of the reaction is decided by the considered system energy, entropy and then surrounding entropy is equal to the total entropy change. Okay, so at temperature T, entropy change of the surrounding, because here enthalpy for the reaction given, so delta S surrounding is equal to delta H negative upon T and enthalpy given 1 minus 1648 into 10 to the power 3 joule per mole and divide by the temperature 298 Kelvin. Okay, so calculate 5530.20 joule Kelvin inverse mole inverse. So total entropy change for this reaction, delta S total is equal to delta S surrounding plus delta S system. So system energy given. Okay, so and surrounding we have to find. So both are adding 5530 plus minus 549.4. So minus, so 4980.8 joule Kelvin inverse mole inverse. Here positive value, that is means positive value represent this reaction is spontaneous. Okay, because it is necessary for spontaneous reaction, value is come positive. Next question is, increase in enthalpy of the surroundings is equal to the increase in enthalpy of the system. Enthalpy increase of the surrounding, so is equal to decrease in enthalpy of the system. So will the temperature of the system and surrounding be the same when they are in thermal equilibrium? Yes, because temperature of the system and surrounding be the same. So when they are in thermal equilibrium. Okay, thermal equilibrium, that is means both are temperature are equal. Clear? Then next question is, comment on the thermodynamic stability of the NO, nitrogen monoxide. So here half N2 gas plus half O2 gas convert into the NO gas, nitrogen monoxide, and enthalpy is equal to 90 kilojoule per mole. And nitrogen monoxide again react with the oxygen, so convert into the nitrogen dioxide. So enthalpy is equal to minus 74 kilojoule per mole. So here that is means NO gas is unstable. So here nitrogen monoxide is unstable because formation of the nitrogen monoxide is endothermic, because here you see plus 90 kilojoule per mole, that is means accept the energy. So energy is absorbed, that is means endothermic reaction. But NO2 gas is formed is exothermic, because here enthalpy is minus 74 kilojoule per mole. Energy is released. So unstable NO gas converts into the stable NO2 gas. Clear? Next question is, for the reaction 2 chlorine gas convert into the Cl2 gas. So what are the signs of the delta H and delta S? So in the given reaction, chlorine gas convert into the Cl2 gas. So a molecule of the Cl2 gas is formed from its two gaseous atoms and energy is released. Okay, so energy is released, that is means for the formation of the bond. So delta H is equal to negative. In this reaction, entropy also decrease because 2 mole of the atoms of the chlorine more randomness than 1 molecule of the chlorine. So delta S is equal to negative. So delta H and delta S both are negative here. Okay, negative way. That is clear? Then next, given that delta H is equal to 0 for mixing of the two gases, that is means enthalpy is equal to 0. Explain whether the diffusion of these gases into each other in a closed container is a spontaneous process or not. That is means diffusion of these gases into each other in a closed container. So spontaneous process or not? Yes, spontaneous process because delta H is equal to 0 and delta H is equal to 0. Energy factor has no role to play. But randomness increase and randomness factor favors the process. Okay. If any condition are apply here, diffusion, so it is a this is the process is equal to this is the process consider way, but energy factor here no play because here delta H is equal to 0. Next question is, for an isolated system delta U is equal to 0. So what will be the delta S? What is the difference between the enthalpy and the entropy? So we have already known about for the isolated system delta U is equal to 0. But for a spontaneous process, that is means natural process, total entropy change must be positive. So example like diffusion of the two gases A and B and contained in a closed container, but which is isolated from the surrounding. So the two gases A and B are separated by a movable partition. But partition is removed, so gases begin to diffuse into each other. So system become more disordered. So it show delta S greater than 0, but delta U is always 0 for this process. So entropy for this process, Q reversible divide T is equal to delta H upon T. So delta S is equal to entropy plus delta U plus P delta V upon T. So delta U is equal to 0, enthalpy here. So P delta V upon T. This is the entropy. Okay. Next question is, calculate the entropy change in the surrounding when 1 mole of the water is formed under standard condition. So here fusion enthalpy given minus 286 kilojoule per mole. So 1 mole of the water liquid. So hydrogen gas plus oxygen gas convert into the liquid. So here fusion enthalpy given and we have to already known about surrounding and energy. Okay, energy released is equal to plus 286 kilojoule per mole. Okay, so delta S is equal to Q surrounding divide T. Surroundings 286 divide temperature 298. So 0.9597. Otherwise we have to write in convert into the joule 959.7 joule Kelvin inverse mole inverse. Next question is, for the reaction at 298 Kelvin, 2A plus B convert into the C. Enthalpy here 400 kilojoule per mole, entropy 0.2 kilojoule per Kelvin inverse mole inverse. So what temperature will the reaction become spontaneous considering delta H, delta S to be constant over the temperature range. So here you see spontaneous consider. So spontaneous for the reaction delta G less than 0. So we have to calculate temperature here Gibbs energy way because delta H and delta S. So both the relation with the Gibbs free energy. So delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. Gibbs free energy here 0 because less than 0. So 0 is equal to delta enthalpy here given 400 minus temperature we have to find T into 0.2 kilojoule per mole entropy. And then T going to the left hand side is equal to 400 divide 0.2. So 2000 Kelvin. So this is the way reaction will be become spontaneous because positive value. Okay, clear? Next question is, the equilibrium constant for a reaction is 10. Okay, so what will be the value of the delta G naught? And delta G naught formula is minus 2.303 RT log Kc. Okay, minus 2.303 R gas constant value 8.314, T temperature 300 Kelvin, and log Kc value given here, equilibrium constant 10, and log 10 is equal to 1. Okay, so multiply, so this value gives energy. Delta G naught is equal to minus 5744.14 joule per mole. Next question is, for the reaction 2A plus B convert into the 2D gas. Entropy and enthalpy both of given, delta U and delta S. So calculate the delta G, and we have to already known about delta Gibbs free energy formula is delta H minus T delta S. Okay, so calculate the delta G. So simple way, delta here first predict the whether the reaction may occur spontaneously. So first we have to, for spontaneous reaction, delta G less than 0. Okay, and number of the products here given 2, and reactant 2 plus 1 3. So 2 minus 3 is equal to 1. This is the number of the moles, and delta H is equal to delta U plus delta Ng RT, and delta H total delta H given minus 10.5 kilojoule. Okay, entropy also given. So we have put the value delta U plus delta N number of the moles, gas constant value, and temperature. Okay, temperature 298 Kelvin. So calculate minus 12.977 kilojoule per mole. So delta G value is equal to formula delta H minus T delta S. Delta G value we have to find, delta H value minus T temperature, and multiply delta S entropy given in the question. Okay, minus 44.1. So we have put the value and then calculate plus 0.1165 kilojoule per mole. So positive value, and brought 4 Gibbs free energy. But this reaction will not occur spontaneously because delta G value is positive. Okay, clear? Entropy value is positive, then we have to say spontaneously. And here delta G Gibbs free energy is positive. That is means because delta G positive, the reaction will not occur spontaneously. Okay, got it? And you have doubt in any question, so please tell me by message. Okay, thank you so much.